Yeah.
It's a great start to the show.
Yeah, great start. It's a great start. It's okay though.
So we got Brandon on mute.
Yeah.
Giving us an intro.
Yeah, we're always working this out.
Welcome to the We Talk Nerd podcast. Music, movies, games. I'm Brandon.
There we go. There we go.
I'm Rob.
Anyway, let's start over for recording's sake.
Let's do it.
You're listening to the We Talk Nerd podcast, a podcast about gaming, movies, and everything nerd. I'm your host, Brandon.
I'm Andrew.
And I'm Rob.
All right. So, a lot of stuff going on this week, so we're just going to jump right into it with Rob and see what he's been up to.
Sure. So I still trying to get through Assassin's Creed. There's so much game there. I think it's going to be something you're going to hear from me probably every week is, put in some more time there and still feel like there's like a million hours left to play.
Very deep game.
Yeah. Great game, though. Really enjoying it. I did get an opportunity to watch a lot of really great TV over the weekend. And I read a few comic books. I want to talk about those a little later.
Not so great.
Oh, yeah. And I was forced to watch a movie by one of our longtime commenters. So I don't know if I'll ever be the same after that. And I do have a review later on for Mute on Netflix.
Cool. What about you, Andrew?
So Assassin's Creed Origins, I don't have it, but it is $30. I saw it for PS4 and Xbox today. So I'm wondering if that's worth, but I want it on PC as well. So
aren't we giving that away soon?
No, we are giving it away, actually.
We lost the giveaway copy somehow.
No.
Talk about how
No. I can't.
Played.
I'm not going to take that. So I don't enter those giveaways. But so number one news. We are giving away Assassin's Creed Origins on the PS4 physical copy in Discord. Get in there. You have to be level 5 or whatever inside Discord, but do that. But I'm just wondering, is it worth maybe on PS4 Xbox for $30, or should I wait for a PC to go lower, or what?
Really, it's worth like triple that amount in terms of like hours of gameplay.
And I mean, it depends. If like, I know that if you have an Xbox One or maybe even a PS4 Pro, it might be worth on console. But if you just have normal consoles, I might just get it on PC. I enjoyed it a lot on PC, even though I did play with the controller.
Yeah. So I'll think about it. I do have the other games to play, like
good game,
Horizon Zero Dawn. So I'll probably do that too.
Yeah, you need to play that before you play Assassin's Creed.
Honestly, though, what I've been playing this week is I've been playing some Mario Odyssey with my daughter.
Nice. Multiplayer, cool. Yeah?
No, not the the balloon one we did try. It was cool. So Luigi's like in random levels, and you go find the balloons. You can place a balloon where other people can find it. I like that. It's fun. It's a fun mini game. But for us, me and my daughter, it's fun to go find the power moons, and she's like, "Oh, you got a power moon, Daddy!" She like claps and everything. It's really fun. So Mario, I'm glad I'm starting her out right. That's for sure.
Good work.
And then we just played a little bit of Destiny, and there's that update that came out, so maybe a little bit on that later.
Cool. I think I'm gonna edit this out, but I think your webcam mic is being used, not your Yeti. Just to give you a heads up.
I got you.
So I'll have to edit this little part out here. But you
Behind
see
the
it
scenes.
live because we're just screwing everything up today.
Andrew is screwing things up. Let's be clear about where to place the blame.
Rob's next. Rob's the next screw up.
Never.
How about now?
Perfect.
Yep,
All right.
there you go.
Everything's good?
Yeah.
Everything's good.
Okay. So actually on the YouTube, it'll be great. But not. All right. Sorry about that.
Anyway, back to it.
Yeah. So what you been up to, Brandon?
I have still been playing some WoW. I'm actually really enjoying leveling, which is odd to say. I'm playing a new allied race, and I really got into leveling a new character up. I don't know how long I'll stick with it, but I'm having lots of fun. And this new game just came out, and it's kind of breaking me away from WoW, and I'm kind of torn on what I should play more. It's I think we talked about it a little bit last week, but it's called Into the Breach.
Oh yeah, I heard of that. Looks really interesting. So you've been playing it then, huh?
Yeah, I'll talk about it a little bit and get my review of it. But
Yeah, tell me.
yeah, it's from the makers of FTL, Faster Than Light. It was an indie game where you controlled ships and stuff. In this one, you're like a time traveler who comes back in time to stop this alien invasion by the VEK, VEK, not to be confused with another alien race in another game. And the game kind of plays like I don't know if you guys seen the movie, but Live, Die, Repeat.
I have,
Where-
yeah.
It's like a roguelike, right? That's
Yeah,
the whole
like-
kind of the whole point.
It's very smash your head into the wall, and then like you just keep doing it over and over again until like you do one thing better, and you're like, yeah, I did it, and then you die like in the next mission later. So I mean, getting into that, it's kind of like XCOM where you move your units, and then they have a attack, and then
Yeah,
it plays a
XCOM
lot
is
like
punishing. Oh, what a punishing game! It would. You lost so many things you cared about in that game.
yeah.
So if it's more of that, then I'll reluctantly enjoy it.
It is very fun. The art style, it's 8-bit. It's very indie, but it's kind of on I would say a 2.5D. Like it's kind of 3D, but it's like it's not really 3D.
Does
And
it
it's
look just
not-
like the Faster Than Light?
No,
graphics?
that's like top down only view. This is
Yeah.
like kind of from like an angle from the side.
Hmm.
So it's like they just kind of like move the camera over a little bit. But yeah, it looks good. It plays good. It's like on a game board. So you have like it's a very square board. You have tiles. There's the buildings or certain tiles, and you move tiles, that kind of thing. But
Cool.
right now, I would probably give it an 8 out of 10. I've played maybe 3 or 4 hours of it, so it might change depending on how repetitive it gets. But just from my initial look through of it and play through, it's 8 out of 10. It's really fun.
Nice.
So, other than that, I guess we'll jump into start talking about some things and some news. I know Andrew brought the Switch up talking about Mario, but here's a game your daughter may enjoy. Outlast.
Yeah, really. I won't even enjoy that game, man.
Yeah, I'm not brave enough to play that.
So if you don't know, Outlast is a horror game where you're like in an asylum or something. And it's your standard run away from things chasing you because you can't fight back horror game, and they're putting it on the Switch, and I feel like I would throw my Switch if I were playing it. I just throw it across the room.
Yeah, that's why I won't play that.
Yeah.
Is it crazy to think that these like Nintendo's getting the mature titles now? Like I guess
It
it's
is.
getting more and more. Oh, well, first of all, it's getting more and more games on it. Period.
Right.
And then it's just saying. I think it's just the publishers making sure that they get all the money and out on this mobile console.
So when did that happen? That Nintendo was the kiddie console?
I think that's something around the Wii. Not really kiddie console, but we lost a lot of titles other consoles got around the Wii time.
Okay, because I mean,
Yeah.
GameCube had Resident Evil. Like it was
Yep.
it was well known for that one. The 64 was still pretty early on. I was wondering if it might be more around there. But like
no, it had
Super
mature
NES,
titles.
Super NES had Mortal Kombat with blood. I mean, it
Mhm.
wasn't like, it wasn't getting any mature games.
I think the Wii is kind of when it kind of toned down a little bit. I mean, they had some dark games on the Wii, but not like Xbox or PlayStation.
I think you just got to look at the flagship titles. That's kind of sets the tone. But then, of course, something like Outlast is a very mature title, horror. I don't know. And Doom. The other one is Doom.
Yeah, I think
Doom's
it's
on
more
the
to do with the fact that it's like an indie game, is why it's on the Switch. Because I think the Switch is making itself very, accessible for indie developers. So I think it's got maybe more to do with that than Switch is now the new mature console.
I wouldn't say it's the mature console.
I wouldn't say, but it's getting there.
It's definitely how it started in that house.
Yeah.
All like
they're not shying away from getting the more adult games, so that's good. Variety is always good.
Variety is good. So if you only have a Switch, which Switch is very affordable, you could be looking at playing just about every other game on the Switch as long as it's not exclusive somewhere else.
Mm-hmm.
So you're even getting PC games on the Switch, so that's thumbs up.
I would like to see this. You know how you have a title that says Xbox, PS4. I usually see that on release, but I would like to see Xbox, PS4, Switch, on release. That's what I would like to see, not just a port sometime later.
I think we'll start seeing that more. I really do.
They'll figure out something, but the problem is that the console's just not as capable.
No, it's not as powerful.
And
so they have to downtone like some of the.
You gotta be careful with that though. They tried doing that like years ago with Madden, where you had like the Wii version of Madden. It was terrible.
Oh yeah. That's a good point. That's a good point.
Yeah, I don't expect to see sports titles on the Wii a lot. I mean, we had 2K, basketball, NBA. But.
Yeah.
Something kind of cool and interesting, some news that came out is that Witcher 2 is actually getting an Xbox One X enhancement. So it's not really a remaster, but they are doing where they're going through and changing the graphics and making it look nicer at 4K for the Xbox One X.
Now, you guys, I think, know of my love for the Witcher 3 game and like how much I just thought that was like such a tentpole game. Mm-hmm. Witcher 2 is probably right there as well for me. It's been around for so long, and they've given it away for free a number of times on Xbox. So I mean, it's if you haven't played, there's really no excuse for it. But these are all great games, and the fact that they're making is it 4K update they're doing for this? That's crazy.
That is crazy. I don't know. Yeah, that is crazy.
It's still a decent looking game.
Yeah, and it's a great game. And it's just a great game in general.
So I mean, if you played a lot of The Witcher 3 and you can't get enough of that, you'll have you can go back in time, play Witcher 2, and it'll look I won't say just as good, but pretty close.
Yeah, we'll see. Witcher 3 is so amazing looking, but
I do remember. I went to your house, Rob, and the first thing you showed me on like your 4K projector was just like, check out Witcher 3. Let's check it out. We just looked at the tree. We looked at the trees. That's what.
Yeah, that's very pretty trees.
It's like, come on, Roach, run! Roach is a horse. Like, look at these trees just flying around. That was when I got the 1080 GTX. So that was when that whole thing came out.
Well worth.
Yes.
So good.
So good.
But, speaking of things getting redone, Activision, they're bringing their latest remaster is going to be Spyro. Mm-hmm. They're saying they're going to keep on bringing remaster titles out. And what do you guys thinking they're going to bring? Is there any titles you want to see from Activision be remastered?
Yeah, I don't know if it's theirs anymore though. They made that Wolverine game, right? That tied into the movie.
Oh, I don't know. Good question. I know they have things like Call of Duty. They had the Guitar Hero games. I'm drawing a blank as well. But yeah, they're planning on bringing more remaster titles out. So
yeah, I think I'd want to see what they owned and then kind of figure it out from there.
The Tony Hawk series, the older games.
We can leave that buried, I think.
Now, as long as they don't do the new ones, the old ones are fun.
Yeah.
Why not?
Bring Tony Hawk back.
Bring the physical skateboard controller back.
Maybe not. Yeah. You really have to look at the list. Yeah, I think just looking at the list. Maybe we'll do that next week or something.
Maybe I'll have.
I'm just blanking on it right now, but there's a ton of great Activision games. I just can't think of which one I would really want to see the most.
Yeah, we might do a what remasters do you want to see in the near future? Do a little segment.
Yeah, that'd be cool. That'd be a good segment.
And not just Activision, because we've seen EA is bringing back Burnout Paradise too. So
yeah, let's talk about any games we want to see remastered. That'd be something good. Take notes.
Yes.
Anyway,
The Witcher 2. Oh man, they already did that though. All right.
Yeah.
We're good.
I know we've talked about it a lot. The Stardew Valley. The guy who created that single-handedly is just started working on a new secret game. So we might have something, just as good as Stardew Valley coming out here pretty soon.
Yeah, Stardew Valley was great.
Yeah, this multiplayer update for it's about to come out. That seems like it's going to be fun with a big patch along with it.
Oh yeah.
Any notes on whether he's going to change the genre?
It's like only thing he says that he just started a brand new project.
Oh, I gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. So
I like to see him branch out into other stuff.
I'd love to see something besides the farming simulating kind of thing, because I think he's very for one guy, he's pretty innovative.
There's a lot of game there for one guy to make.
A lot of game. So hopefully he can do something just as good. But I want to talk about something that's not as good. I don't know if you guys have heard the Metal Gear Survive game, which is like the horde mode for Metal Gear, where it's like zombies and weird stuff.
They're hyping up that thing a lot. So
I don't know if it's getting hype around it. You guys, we know we've talked about loot boxes a lot and how much we hate them, but in this game, if you have a save, I guess one save, and if you don't want to delete that one save, you have to pay an extra $10 for another one.
So it's like an extra character slot,
I guess. So they're just monetizing everything they can.
I didn't know you could even monetize something like that.
Guild Wars.
Could you imagine like playing like the N64?
3 characters.
Like, when you have Ocarina of Time come up and you have 3 slave slots, could you imagine like having to pay for another save slot? I just think that's ridiculous.
I can now with the magic of Metal Gear Survive.
Like it's,
I can see I'm almost 100% sure the first Reddit thread of that is just gonna be the picture of that with $10 next to it and just it blasting all over the.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure they're only doing it because it's like a free to play game, right?
No.
Well, then they must be looking to enhance a lot of free DLC by charging the extra, right?
The rest of the game, probably not. They're probably just looking for more money.
Oh, okay. Well then,
let me tell you here,
not as good.
Survive is a free game or not?
Yeah,
if it is, that makes sense. Actually, Rob, that would make perfect sense.
I was being really sarcastic, but if it ends up being true that it's a free-to-play game and that's how they're scraping together cash to feed their families, then fine.
But to put it all together, like you said before, the Guild Wars, it's $60 game. You buy it, and then you have extra slots.
$40 game.
$40 game. All right.
Now I think it's an early access.
Not a premium price game. Still $10 though. I mean, it's crap. Should they? What's a save slot? It's dumb.
Yeah. Very dumb. Very, very, very dumb.
You know what's not dumb though?
What's that?
I've been watching on Twitch. I haven't played it myself, but have you guys seen Vermintide 2, the beta that's out right now?
Yeah, I've heard about it.
It looks so sick.
Looks good. Looks really good.
It is. You play as different classes in like medieval times or whatever Warhammer's medieval time frame is, and you've got
fantasy.
You got like assassins with like dual wielding daggers, and you got swords and maces and sorcerers, and basically it's just floods of these little rat creatures coming at you, and you're just gunning them all down as they come around.
Vermins.
Yeah, and it looks cool. The gameplay is fast. There's a lot of character progression in between waves, but basically you're defending these dilapidated churches or farm like on the countryside that's just getting overrun. What'd you think of it, Andrew? What'd you see?
I loved it. I mean, number one, I played Vermintide 1 at least for 10 hours. It was a great game. It was, think of Diablo except first person. It's a hack and slash with not that many monsters if you think about it, but a lot more than you can think of. So you're really going through it. You can do a team play, and team play is great. A lot of the classes work well together, and there's just a lot of action.
I've heard it's not really. There's not really a progression in it. It's just you jump in and play to have fun. And
there's progression. There's loot. There's loot and everything.
You can upgrade your weapons from time to time. You can get like rare and exotic weapons.
So it's not like a PUBG where you drop in, loot, fight, and then it's gone, and then you just play another game.
Nope,
so it's something you build yourself off of.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, and if you haven't seen it, the graphics are so good. That's what I was saying, is that it looks amazing. Like when you've seen, I'll pick on that game that just came out, the Deliverance, the From Deliverance game, or Kingdom Come. In that game, when you're swinging a sword, it looks really basic. You know, when you punch, your fist just goes out towards the whatever you're punching at. But this stuff looks like really intense. Like they did a lot of maybe motion capture or at least animation to make it look really convincing and look really, really brutal. Like when you're fighting and hitting stuff.
Yeah, they improved on. I can see the improvements on the system from 1 and 2. Just the melee system in general has improved. The spell casting has improved. Just the graphics. Like when I saw the stream of it's gonna even look better on your system. Not even just watching the stream. That's how crazy it's gonna be. Because Vermintide 1 looked really good. I can't just imagine it getting. Now you said the beta though. Does anyone can anyone get in this, or? I
don't know. I signed up for it. I didn't get anything back. Truthfully, I was really busy over the weekend, so I didn't have a lot of time to follow up on it. But as soon as I saw the beta, I tried to get in on it. I was watching Grims and Anthony Kongfon play.
Elohim was actually playing it earlier.
Oh, I believe it. Yeah.
Yeah. So I may look it up, and if I can get in, I will try that because that's right up my alley. Loot, hack and slash, medieval.
Let's go. Crazy like weird crossbows with like compartments for like holding a ton of arrows. It was just really cool looking.
Sounds
really,
like a great game for like an exterminator to play. Like, I love exterminating rats.
Well, that's Andrew's secret profession.
Yeah. How did you know?
Tell me about another beta.
So yeah, so Sea of Thieves was live again last week. Their beta was up and available, and I think you could probably just look for it every week to be available. I think all the way up to release. So if you are interested in checking it out, and you pre-ordered, you sounds like you'll get some time to play it ahead of time. But that leads us to kind of a bigger question. I think we're all interested in playing Sea of Thieves when it comes out. One problem we have, though, is we don't have a good pirate crew name. So I was thinking about putting out a challenge to the community to come up with a pirate name for us. And where do you think we should try to get this, maybe where this run through? Like, where could people give us suggestions? Do you want it through the Discord?
There's a handy place. If you're listening to this podcast anyway, there's a handy place called the WTN podcast channel on the PixelPub Discord. That's a handy place.
That'd be good. We can think about it more, but you're saying like every crew will have their own name, I assume.
Well, probably just the Xbox club would probably be what I'd be thinking of. That way it would all kind of fall under the same banner. And then you can organize it with, this, you get this type of sale, get some custom stuff that you can put together. Little light on the details right now about what it will actually get for you, but some way to unify the PixelPub crew.
Yeah, that'd be great. So you're saying, and this is news to me, is from the Xbox club, they'll actually take your banner and then put it up on a flag or something like that? Really?
Yeah, they've got some kind of hooks in there, which is why I was wanting to get a little bit more into it. It may be more of a guild system through the game, but I'll get some more details on it. But either way, we need a name, and even if it just ends up being our Discord channel.
Yeah.
So
that'd be awesome.
Yeah, so I'm putting the challenge out there to the listeners. Whoever comes up with the best name and puts it in either our PixelPub subreddit or the We Talk Nerd Discord channel. I'm going to be giving away a 3-month trial of the Xbox Game Pass, which, as we all know, will give you free access to any Microsoft published games, which means you'll basically get to own Sea of Thieves for 3 months for free.
It's a good deal.
Any other games.
It's a good deal.
Good deal.
All you need to do is think about a name.
We need a good name, though.
Yeah, we need a good name.
Who's gonna judge this? I can't be the only judge.
I'm in.
We say between the three of us would be fair.
Let's judge.
Okay. We also just opened up the Sea of Thieves. We just opened up the Sea of Thieves category inside Discord. Maybe that would be the best place to put it. I'll make an official announcement. How about that? Inside the Sea of Thieves channel, and then I'll tag the We Talk Nerd podcast hosts so that we can get all those names and we can do it live.
Yep.
We can do Judgment live.
And how long do you think we need to give people for this?
The game comes out release
20th.
Yeah.
I want to try to set up ahead of time.
Oh, ahead of time so they can play. So they can.
Yeah. So let's say 1 week out from release. So the 13th.
Yeah.
Midnight,
sounds great.
March
so
13th.
Soon. That's like 2 weeks.
Yeah, they got 2 weeks to think of a great name for us.
Start writing it down. Great. Awesome. Thanks, Rob.
Yeah. Well, thank you to the listener that comes up with an awesome name for us.
Not just Yoho Yar Mateys crew.
That was mine. That was what I put.
Oh man, God.
You took it. Right. You took it from me.
Check it off the list.
So speaking of taking things from people.
Yes.
Yeah.
That is right. Sony, as in news today, will no longer include PS3 or Vita games in the lineup starting in March 2019 for PlayStation Plus free games of the month.
I didn't know they're actually still putting free games on those.
That's sort of what I put down. I was like, I'm surprised that they haven't cut that off a little earlier. But since it's going till March 2019, that just means more games. I don't know what kind of games they're going to be putting out until then.
Well, as a Vita owner and PS Plus subscriber, I can tell you it's been a bunch of crap for at least a few years now. So
it's going to go even more downhill. See some obscure stuff right there. So I have both Vita and PS3, and there's some really odd stuff. But hey, they're free games. It's fine.
The best thing of the Vita is being able to play your PlayStation 3 games or PlayStation 4 games remotely with it. There's a handful of quality games on there. I mean, you can look at like Disgaea, Persona.
Yeah, those are great.
I really also enjoy Dragon's Crown. That kind of D&D hack and slash one that they had. So a lot of good games on the PS Vita, but not enough to support the system. So I think they're just trying to figure out a way to bury it.
Yep. And with that, comes a question: are there going to be more games that they're going to substitute for the games that we're losing?
You ever known Sony to give away more stuff for free other than your information?
And unless it's their information, and then we'll give you free stuff after we say sorry. I remember that whole debacle. But yeah, for the clarification, PlayStation said that they will not be offering any more for the substitute of losing those games. They'll just be those 2 PS4 games per month.
That's probably fine.
Yeah, I think it'd be fine. And that, thinking about these PS4 games, they've been giving out some really good PS4 games. I think it was a couple months ago was Metal Gear Solid 5 for free.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's amazing.
And didn't they give away Deus Ex as well?
Mankind Divided? I think that was, I don't remember. But this upcoming month, Bloodborne and Ratchet and Clank.
Oh, that's great. Bloodborne's a fantastic game. Ratchet and Clank's always fun.
These 2 games I've actually wanted to buy. I've been looking out for them on Slick Deals or something like that and say, hey, I want to buy this on $10. If there's $10, I'm going to pick it up. But I don't have to anymore. They're right there.
Now you're just paying whatever your PS Pro price was,
Yeah, really, if you get it on a deal, and this is just me because I like to get those 12-month cards, but sometimes you can get them on for $40 for 12 months. Just look out for those $40 for what seems to be I don't know how much, $1,800 for a total year of worth of games.
Yeah, I think you gotta kind of look at it in as month to month, because not every month is good. In fact, some months you're just what are they pulling here? Because the games that they're giving away are either ones they've already given away previously, which they've done that before, or they're just not fun games. You're just what's the point of this?
Exactly. I do want to cover, and maybe some people don't know this, but if you've been a long-time subscriber for PS Plus and you've been saving up all these games, and you're thinking, these games are mine. Really? it's not. If you cancel the subscription, you only get it for till the end of the month, and then you can't play them. So you have to stay subscribed to play the games that you've already had previously. Just to put that out there.
Is that a new thing, or is that a current?
No,
that's always been.
Yeah. It's kind of a public service announcement. Hey, if you've had it for a while, and you get rid of it, you end up losing them all. Xbox lets you keep them forever for free. They become yours. PlayStation gives you a license for the games for as long as you are a customer of the service.
Right.
Which is going to be rough when, they go to some new consoles and then you're not able to, go back and maybe play some of your previous ones if they do some other kind of online service.
Yeah. So basically, it was public service just to make sure that you all know that's how that
Bad
works.
on you, Sony. Bad on you.
See, I'm excited about those games.
Those feel like fun games, though. I haven't played either one, so I might look into it.
Did you guys hear about this 16 squad of streamers will be facing off in a $100,000 PUBG tournament tomorrow?
Is it tomorrow or today? Because I watched one today.
Or is it today? So it was later. It was later today.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, there you go.
It was tomorrow yesterday.
It was tomorrow yesterday.
Yeah,
you guys are in the know. I just basically
going on right now.
Is it? I thought it was done.
That'd be over.
So who won?
The one I watched earlier was Shroud. Shroud won.
I think it was multiple matches.
That makes sense.
Probably. Yeah, they must be doing some. Yeah, because the one I was watching was Grims and Anthony Kongfon with Lyric and Shorty. That was a pretty fun team because they're like so crazy. I was enjoying that. I did not watch Doc, although Doc and Dr. Lupo, that's a dangerous combination. Both those guys are so full of violence, speed, and momentum.
Yeah.
Isn't that Shroud?
Yeah,
Shroud's amazing.
Yeah.
Shroud's just ungodly with his, aim.
360 no scope.
So
that's how
the commentary I heard while I think it was the same game Shroud won. It was like he was just mowing people down. They're like, "Oh my God, Shroud, calm down. This is just for charity."
Shroud's murdered everyone for charity.
Yeah.
So that's how I knew about it. I was watching Dr. Lupo, and then he was saying he was practicing for Doc's team, but I didn't get the full story. But you guys knew, and you guys seemed to be on that. I was gonna cheer for Doc's team, but I guess the whole thing was completed already. So
yeah. Too late. You could still cheer for it. It's just done.
Just pretend you haven't watched it.
Yeah, I'll watch the VODs and cheer it on, and then okay.
The secret is that Doc is entertaining more so than good at these games.
He's not bad.
He's not. No, he's definitely not bad. And sometimes he makes some shots that you're just like, I don't even know how it's possible. But typically in a tournament, he's not. He's a little too aggressive for the field. And that usually ends up costing him.
So just to put this out there, like, it was Twitch putting up that money for charity?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, that's cool. You think you'll see more of this?
Oh, I hope so. And it was entertaining. It was there was a lot of really known. It was so funny. I was seeing people getting shot at, or like Lyric killing someone, some other streamer I'd seen. It's just like,
yeah.
You're making the connections between like who just died and like who's who's playing. So it's cool. I'd like to see more of this for sure.
Yeah, pitting some communities against other communities, bringing them all together under one game. I think that's great. So
sounds toxic.
It sounds toxic, but
yep.
I'm sure it brought in a lot of viewers and
I'm sure
some good stuff for charity.
I'm sure it split a lot of views too. If everybody was streaming at one time.
That's true.
Oh yeah. And I'm pretty sure you have to be on delay too, because you can stream snipe pretty hardcore when everyone is streaming it.
I wanted to close out some gaming news because after this we'll move to movies, right? And then comics. But I've been really proud of, and I'll say Destiny. Our Destiny community is still going strong, especially Destiny 2. So Destiny 2. So I'm really proud of our Xbox community.
Xbox?
And this is our Xbox community.
What?
They've really it's really crazy because it's not crazy, but like it's really good to see that maybe a band of leaders really rallied up a bunch of players behind them in the fire teams, and now they're just doing constant raids and they're giving us like good feedback. There's more people saying, like, to me personally as the leader of the community, saying they said, "Hey, great, this is a great community. Thank you to these leaders, that sort of thing." So shout out to the Xbox community in our Discord. So keep it up.
Good job, guys.
Yeah, awesome job. Destiny 2, there's updates, but I would just say go in there and try the Nightfalls, get some more loot. There's just more loot to be had. But I think a lot of people are just still waiting for that DLC.
I like logging in every week and getting free loot.
Yep, that's that too.
Yeah.
That's how I play.
I need to do that. Log in, go talk to the lady with the eagle to get more loot.
If you haven't done it in a while,
That's how you do.
you're going
that's
to
how you
be
play the
standing
game.
there for a long time.
Yeah,
That's how you play the game.
I'm at least I may even been purged by now just because I've been playing other games and everything and haven't gotten back to it. But good on the Xbox crew for bringing some fun into the game and giving people a place to go and get some of these accomplishments done. So good on you.
Just in some community news, we've opened up a new space for Sea of Thieves. So if you have any friends that are going to Sea of Thieves, just head to our Sea of Thieves channels. We have LFGs, we have some good interaction already. There's Diablo 3 season came out, so there's some bunch of people that said, "Hey, I want to get back in Diablo 3." So what we did, we created a new category. We gave them the channel to get in there, and they're grinding away.
That's
Honestly,
a time
awesome.
waster.
Those are some dedicated people because after so many seasons, you're just kind of like, this is the same thing.
But if you really want to meet those people up, those dedicated people, we have a PixelPub, and I didn't even know they had this. They have a guild inside Diablo 3, so check that out. We're getting into League of Legends as well. We have a club there, if you wanted to check that out, led by Blaze and another one of our community members. So I just want to throw that out there. Just a lot of good news. Check out the Discord. There you go.
Oh, speaking of Blaze, since we brought that up, I just wanted to make an announcement that he actually just got affiliate status with Twitch.
Yo, Blaze.
So
Good job, man.
you'll have a sub button and everything coming soon. So
Nice.
if you're,
I credit that with his sticking to the Batman Telltale series.
yeah, he's been playing through the Telltale series. He's doing League right now, I think, but when he's not playing League and things like that, he's doing the Telltale games. I think he's gonna play through all of them.
Yeah, I was talking to him a little bit about it. I went on his stream and we were talking a little bit about. Yeah, I got to see the part in season 2 where there's an episode where basically Batman discovers who he's up against. Because at first he thinks he's up against the Riddler, so no spoilers there, because that's one of the first things they show. But then he finds out there are 5 other villains that are in the mix, and basically they all come at you like one after another, and Blaze is kind of like, "Oh man," and he can't cross him.
I stopped watching after we finished the first season because I don't want to spoil the second season because I want to play it. But I will probably catch his other streams for sure.
Cool. Yeah. Good job, Blaze. Yeah.
Go check him out.
Hey.
When we're not playing, go check him out.
Chat just woke up. Welcome, chat.
Hey, chat.
Welcome.
But let's move into the movies and stuff since everybody's just now popping up. I guess that's what they want to see. But before we get into the reviews, I just want to throw out one tidbit of news. This may or may not intrigue people, but Chris Hemsworth, who is Thor, may be starring in a new Men in Black spinoff. And it's not the 21 Jump Street crossover spinoff they've been talking about doing for a while now. It's another spinoff of Men in Black. So
I like Chris Hemsworth. He's legitimately funny. That last Thor was amazing. So, I mean, Men in Black is not something I've really been focused on too much, but it's a cool universe.
It hasn't been around in a while.
Yeah, it hasn't been good for 20 years.
That's right.
I think that first one was good, and then everything else after that was pretty bad. I don't even know what they got up to. Was it 3 or 4?
3.
3.
Yeah.
2 wasn't bad. 2 wasn't bad.
Watch it again. I think you'll. I think you'll have second thoughts.
Is there
those special effects are bad?
3
is
really
there
bad.
Is there any like one of those take a long break and then create a movie that reboots it? Is there the one that's been good that has done that before?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, sure. I just can't say one off the top of my head right this second. Let me think.
Can you count like The Hobbit as one of those?
No, because The Hobbit was terrible.
What?
the Lord of the Rings was really good. The Hobbit series was bad.
You didn't like the Hobbit series?
No, it was way too long. It was 9 hours and it should have been like 2 hours.
I don't know.
I loved it.
Okay, well, great. We'll just disagree on this one.
Okay, fine. Okay, fine. Let's move on.
Okay, you're on a desert island. You have a workable DVD player and a set of DVDs of The Hobbit or Lord of the Rings. Which one do you keep?
Oh, definitely Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, because it's a good one.
I'm not gonna say that the Lord of the Hobbit was better. I'm just saying I also enjoyed The Hobbit.
Yes.
Anyway.
There you go.
Yeah, no, Jester just got it. My question is, why was Legolas in The Hobbit? And how can he run on air and bricks that are falling? It was just way too long. It was just
we need another podcast for this, a whole other episode for this.
I could rage on this thing for about 2 or 3 hours. So let's move on.
All right, cool.
All right, well, tell me about this movie that we got roped in, or you got roped into by Thrust.
Yeah, so Thrust, thanks for recommending Mute, the movie on Netflix. It was with the best of intentions, though. It's directed by Duncan Jones, who directed a great movie called Moon, starring Sam Rockwell. You may be familiar with that. Not so good, but still entertaining was the Warcraft movie that he directed. It's not like there was no chance it was going to be good. But the reality is this movie sucks. And and I wish I could put it better, but I'm going to give you a kind of a brief overview of the main characters, and then you could tell me just how excited you are to maybe watch it. The first thing before we get too far into it, be aware of lots of sexual content, a lot of nudity. So if you are in an area where you might be around young kids or people that would object to such things, do not load it up and watch it. They will look at you funny because there's some weird stuff in there. Beyond that, you've got the characters that you've got to deal with. So Alexander Skarsgård, or also known as Eric from True Blood, is searching for his missing girlfriend. He is also mute. An accident happened when he was a kid swimming in a lake, and somehow his vocal cords got ripped out, and he can't talk anymore. In addition to that, he's also shy and maybe kind of retarded, and he's Amish. So there's a whole bunch of things going on there that make for a very complex character that can't emote anything through words. He has to try to do it all through these puppy dog eyes he does through the entire movie. It gets old. It gets really old. Now on the other side, you got Paul Rudd. So everyone knows Paul Rudd, right? From different movies, Ant-Man. He ends up teaming up with a pedophile to harvest body parts for money. And they spend a lot of time making jokes about how sexy young girls are. And then, I'm going to spoil it. The twist at the end is the guy's actually a pedophile. He's not even like, you're thinking the whole time, oh, he must just be joking. No, he's an actual pedophile. So that was played by Justin Theroux. Sorry if you're going to watch it. I'm going to save you some time. Don't. The main thing this movie's got going against it is that no one's likable. There's really there's no one that you go, man, I can really identify with that guy. Because it's either the mute Amish 6'7" guy that's like kicking everyone's ass, or it's the pedophile, or it's the guy who's chopping up and like dismembering people for money. So not a lot of relatable characters overall. On the good side, Duncan Jones is a talented director. There are some very nice scenes. He can really frame some shots very well. I'm going to give it 3 out of 10 just for the style points, but what a waste of time. So,
record low.
We're going to have to think twice on the next recommendation.
Record low for our reviews for sure.
Can we give another movie as a 3 out of 10 for you? That's kind of like
to compare it.
Yeah, to compare it. I want to know, like,
I
have never. I'm not gonna watch this movie, but I want to give a comparison to myself of like thinking about a 3 out of 10, or even a 4, even a 4, something around there.
Did you guys ever see that movie The Cell with Jennifer Lopez, where she goes into the guy's brain and he's a serial killer?
Oh no.
How about the movie Identity starring John Cusack, where he's like 8 different personalities living in his own head?
Yes.
Okay, that's a 3 out of 10 for me.
Okay.
Oh,
Gotcha.
they're perfect.
I gotcha.
Jester comes through when I needed it.
Stars at episode 1. Okay.
Stop.
Actually, I would probably give that one a 4 just for the pod race scenes. But yeah, it's
come
it's
on.
low.
Harsh.
It's low.
Darth Maul?
Harsh.
Darth Maul fight? Get 1 point?
Single-handedly, the best
What people fail
Star
to
Wars,
recognize,
lightsabers fight.
the problem was that it was so unbelievable, that fight at the end, because as we all know, Darth Maul had the high ground.
He didn't. But see, the thing is, they were on the bottom of Naboo, and so technically, he still had the high ground.
Could be. I've seen some charts online where people said from his perspective, like if you like rotate the axis of the Earth, he was actually like laying on the ground above him. So Obi-Wan had the high ground that way. Yeah, that was awesome.
So okay, so basically episode 1, pod racing, good. That scene great, brings it up to an 8. Jar Jar Binks brings it down back to a 4.
Sure,
right, we're good. All right,
you guys are so harsh. So harsh. Well, let's talk about a better movie that I seen over the weekend. I knew nothing about until I went and watched it. And this movie is called Game Night. I don't know. Have you guys heard about it?
Yeah.
It's Jason Bateman, right? And he did.
Yeah.
Okay, and kind of a weird twist, like kind of like a dark humor type of thing to it.
Kinda.
Okay,
It's
I don't
not
know
that
much
dark.
else beyond that though,
Yeah.
but it looks interesting.
I'll set the picture for you. So the group of friends, the main actor is Jason Bateman, like you said, and they get together every now and then for a game night. Well, his brother comes into town. His brother hasn't been around in a while, and they play game night, and he's like, "Well, I want to host it next time." So he hosts the game night, and he sets up this elaborate real life game where he tells the characters, you won't know what's part of the game and what's real, and the movie takes off from there, and shenanigans occur, and I thought it was a lot better than Jumanji.
And you love Jumanji.
You actually gave Jumanji, I think, an 8 too.
Yeah, or a 9.
Yeah.
Or
No,
9.
I wasn't. I don't think it was that high.
Probably an 8. I bet Jared.
I know. I think Jared gave it higher because he loved the movie.
Okay, I gotcha.
But yeah, I thought it was a lot funnier than Jumanji, and I would say this one's an 8 out of 10. It's really cool little board game stuff, and it's a lot of twists and turns, and it's a good time. It's funny.
Has it inspired you to continue with your gaming nights that you've?
Oh yeah.
Of course. I don't know if I'm gonna do what they've done, but get some game nights. And before I move away from movies and stuff, I also signed up for Movie Pass, so I will actually start going to probably every movie I can go see with Movie Pass. And so,
nice.
I don't know if you guys know about Movie Pass.
Yeah, I signed up for it and still haven't used it. So right now I'm in the hole about $50 for because I keep forgetting to use it. So one of these days I'll remember. The thing is the matinee I go to, because I usually watch on like Sundays, is only $6. So I have to go multiple times a month for it. It really isn't working out. Like, it's been a terrible financial decision for me.
But yeah, so I'm gonna start using that since I can go watch whatever movie I want and not lose money on it. So it's a lot cheaper than buying tickets to everything. So that's what I'm gonna do.
So game night, basically, Jumanji was very funny, like you said before, but this is very mature too. Like game night's pretty mature.
Yeah, it's I would say it's more mature than Jumanji for sure.
Yeah. Okay. Gotcha.
I think it's rated R. Actually.
Okay. Puts in perspective.
Yeah, it's good. Very funny. I wouldn't say it's adult humor. It's situational humor.
Okay.
So, but there is language and scenarios and violence and stuff. So
it's rare you kind of see a good comedy nowadays, in my opinion. Now they're kind of coming back. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe.
There was a string of really bad comedies for a very long time.
I would say that this kind of heralds back to the age where you could have one-off movies that are really good and really funny.
That's good. Yeah.
Cool. A little quick tidbit of TV news is that the very first episode, the pilot episode for the Witcher Netflix series, they just finished the script for that.
Oh,
So
that's great news.
That's chugging along. So soon.
I hope they can do that right, because it's one of those shows I could really see. So have you guys played the Witcher series yet?
I've played a lot of 1, never finished it, never played 2, and played a lot of 3, but never finished 3.
So there's like parts that would be extremely CGI intensive that would be very expensive for a show. But on the flip side, there's a lot of like, oh, we got to resolve this like townsfolk stuff that could be done pretty much on the cheap. So I think there's a good balance there to make a show with like an appropriately sized budget that's entertaining even when he's not fighting, monsters and stuff.
To be honest, there's so much story in that they can have every scene that I can think of in every single game, like a mini what's it called, subquest, could be an episode.
Oh, easily.
Full blown episode.
Yeah, the ones like with like the the lovers that get killed out in the woods, and it's like some ghost that did it, or even like the Baron I think would be a pretty awesome season.
That's my
like
favorite.
A season. You could do a season out of that.
That was my favorite part.
Yeah,
of
finding a tower. What's the tower about? There's an episode.
Sure.
Full blown episode. What's the top of the tower? Yeah, it's so good. I'm hoping for the best in this as well.
Yeah, you're probably going to be dealing with some adult content as well. So
yes,
be ready for
Game
that.
of Thrones style, definitely.
I would agree. I think so.
Cool. But I'm good for skipping all that stuff. Like I did with the games and everything. I'm just more about the lore, about that sort of stuff.
Oh, and it's got great lore. You know what else has great lore? The Tick.
You're so good at transitions, man. So good.
The Tick.
Oh, man.
They just released the second half of the first season on Amazon Prime. So if you are a Prime member, it is free to stream. Man, this show is so much fun. If you guys aren't watching it, take a bit of time and just watch it. It's so good. It's so off the wall, and it's so funny. There's a bit of violence in it, but nothing too outrageous. All the situations are just really out there. It's got a great payoffs. So things that were talked about early on in the season end up coming back around towards the end. It's got a gay boat, which
what?
It's on one of the characters. So yeah, it's the Tick is all about the crazy characters, and they've updated it for kind of a modern era. So if you like the cartoon and live action series from the early 2000s, you're gonna love this one. Even if you haven't seen it, it's so good.
Jester 100% agrees with you.
Yeah, Jester's my man. He knows. I'm gonna give this an 8.5 out of 10, just because it needs a little more budget, because some of the stuff does look a little cheap, but overall, perfect acting, so much fun, great, like just awkward, tense moments. So yeah, I'm hoping you'll get a chance to watch it.
Do you think this is like one of the best shows on Amazon Prime?
Oh yeah, especially from a fun standpoint. There's like critically acclaimed ones, like your Man in the High Tower and
Castle,
Transparent, and or High Castle. That's right. But yeah, the Tick is, drop in. It's a 22-minute episode. See what you think. Drop out if you don't like it. But there's only 12 episodes total. I sat and binged them all like one after the other. It was so much fun.
Very cool.
Yeah, cool. Love it. So another show I was watching on Netflix. You guys play with toys growing up, right?
All the time.
Yes.
Yeah. So they've got a new documentary series on there called "The Toys That Made Us," and I think Brandon's watched this too.
Have.
I was just absolutely loving it. So I was like clicking around, and like they do this like kind of goofy song that sounds almost like the G.I. Joe theme song, where they're talking about like the toys that made us.
Yeah, it's very interesting.
And the first episode was all about Star Wars toys and how that came to be, and how it almost didn't happen. There almost wasn't a toy series for Star Wars, and it was very possible that toys the way we know them now would not be around because without the popularity of Star Wars. Toys before that were, not as highly produced. Even boys didn't really like playing like with action figures. There was G.I. Joe.
First action figure.
Yeah, G.I. Joe is the first action figure, but the whole Star Wars thing was really what drew that on. So first episode was Star Wars, a lot of interesting facts, background info. They talk about everything, even like pirated ones, like what knockoff toys look like from other countries.
They talk about the largest collection too.
Yeah, the Stan Sweet or something like that. They in the second one they talk about Barbie. Little trivia. Barbie was actually modeled after a German prostitute doll. They gave her some legal professions, and the rest is history. So it was really entertaining. You know, you might think, who cares what Barbie is or what that's all about? But the history behind it is pretty amazing. And the power struggles around who gets to control which directions the toys go, they're crazy about it. These executives are at each other's throats over who gets to dictate how things go.
How did they get that news? I'm just curious.
Usually they have people interviewing for the
A
documentary.
lot of interviews.
Oh, wow, cool.
Yeah,
Wow.
they'll bring in the original creators. They had the guy who so the third episode was He-Man. And He-Man was unique because that was the first toy series that became a cartoon, not the other way around.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So
And comic series.
Yeah, and comic books, yeah. But they showed the original concept art for He-Man, and it's this guy who can draw like Frank Franzetta, who does all those Conan covers, and he was drawing some amazing art. And he was just like whipping out like, here's Skeletor, you know, here's Beastman. He was just drawing all this like really cool, crazy looking art, and you know, putting it out there for them to pick up and turn it into a toy series. But they did that in response to Star Wars. They needed a money line, and they said, all these Star Wars guys are so small and wimpy, we got to make a guy who's huge. So they took one of their toys from the 70s and just packed a bunch of muscles on them. And that's how He-Man was born.
It's crazy how like they make toys. Like they'll literally go and find a toy line they like, take that toy, whittle on it, paint over top of it, and that's their concept for another toy.
Yep.
Crazy.
Yeah, the tiger, Battle Cat, was actually a original tiger from what they called the Big Jim series, and they were like, they don't match up. They're not the right size, and they were like, put a saddle on it. So it was supposed to be, you know, like the tiger was supposed to be smaller, so it'd be like the appropriate size for the characters. And they're like, no, just make it big enough to ride. So yeah, really inventive what they do. I thought it was cool. I'm gonna give it a 7.5 out of 10. Fun. Turn your brain off, watch it, enjoy it, get some history on some of the nerd stuff.
Good nostalgia.
Yeah. So, and they had like the Star Wars one. They had the attorney that first like set up the whole toy deal, and it's the very first time he's talked about it in an interview or anything. And it was for this Netflix series, so that's really cool.
Yeah, you wouldn't even believe the deal they had going for Star Wars. Do you know that the licensing deal was Kenner had to give George Lucas a check every year for $10,000, and then they had the guaranteed forever rights to make Star Wars toys.
And then something happened.
And then one year they forgot to pay him.
No.
Yeah, it's a fun series. It's you should definitely check it out.
Yeah. So episode 1, Star Wars. 2, Barbie. 3, He-Man. 4 was G.I. Joe. It's actually it's a kind of a 2-part series that in the second part it's going to have Lego, Star Trek, Transformers, and Hello Kitty.
That's
Legos. I'd watch. I'm gonna watch the Lego one. That was my childhood. It's all Legos.
I would give it a 8 out of 10 on my, because I love documentaries. I'm actually watching another documentary series now. It's not really nerdy, so I won't talk about it, but good stuff.
Nice. So
now it's time for the comic section.
Yeah, we're in a comic series. So I thought I would kind of go in. I've been talking up Comixology and that app and like how easy it is for people to use and discover some new comics. I thought it might be good to look at some other sources too. So you guys have bought from Humble Bundle, right?
Of course.
Yeah. So Humble Bundle is real big about putting out the different game packs and everything, but they also do a comics bundle or a books bundle, and usually every month they'll put out some big collection for like $20. So this month right now they're doing the Humble Bundle Image Expo comics. So that's all of your Image series. So there's Marvel, there's DC, and then Image is kind of like the big third. They're giving away 65 comics that are either trade paperback or single issues for $20. So to put that in perspective, trade paperbacks are usually 6 to 10 comics that they're packing into one, and there's 65 of these. So you're essentially getting somewhere around 300 comics for $20.
Dang.
Yeah, it's some good stuff.
I don't know comic book prices because I don't read them. But that seems like a lot of content for $20.
Yeah, it's a ton of content. So Some big ones to look at would be Saga, great series by Michael Vaughn or Brian Michael Vaughn, and then Spawn, which you might remember the movie from Tom McFarlane a little bit ago. But for $20, could you see yourselves getting into reading some comics that maybe you hadn't before?
And have a plethora for maybe a year or two to read 600 something? Wow. That's crazy. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, probably closer to 300, but still, that's quite a bit.
Nice.
So, a lot going on there. As I'm like choking on my water. So with that public service announcement out of the way, always do a review every week on some comics. So we talked a little bit about it last week, but Batman v Superman was a comic in 2013. And the premise here is that Batman, the original Batman, meaning Bruce Wayne at year one, travels forward in time and meets the Superman of today. And vice versa, Superman of year one travels forward in time and meets Batman of today.
Okay.
And of course, there's shenanigans and fights, and they come to understand what's actually going on there. And it's this whole nefarious plot that is cooked up by a villain, Brainiac, to make them pit themselves against each other. So it's done in a really trippy manner, meaning that the art is like really surrealistic, and there's a lot of I don't know the best way to really describe it, but very surreal, dreamlike environments in which they're fighting in.
Okay.
So it almost looks like they're under like scarecrows, poison gas, like you might see in like the Arkham series.
So we're just talking about a dimension, or actually just on Earth, just really different art style?
More of like a dreamscape where it's actually happening. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So, but it really goes into, what these characters were when they began and what they eventually become. So it's kind of showing them like their overall arc from when they started off to where they went. So I really enjoy it. It's only two issues. So it's a quick read. It's a great, great art, great writing. So I'll give it an 8 out of 10.
Nice. Can you see parts of this getting pulled into the movie, or was it really just completely different?
They definitely pulled in some parts. The parts where Superman was kind of talked down by his mom out in Kansas.
Yeah.
That was a big part.
Okay.
So that was lifted like almost directly.
And then how about the fighting? Who won? I guess you have to read.
Yeah,
right?
They all kind of. Yeah, I really don't want to spoil it, but
yeah.
These things kind of have their way of working themselves out.
Okay, cool, nice. Always appreciate these comic reviews. Maybe if I don't know, is there another Marvel movie I can maybe do my review in that's coming out soon?
Infinity War.
War, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because I really want to get into some comics too.
Or
Infinity War's
some Han Solo series for the Solo movie.
There you go.
Oh yeah. Because that's a whole other arc that they have there.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Nice.
Or Aquaman. You read about fish.
Is Aquaman this year?
Not too interested about Aquaman. Not too interested about that.
It's going to be its own standalone coming out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it this year? I can't remember if it's
I don't know if it's this year.
I don't think it's this year. But I guess that's it. And we're not going to do 20 questions this week, since I'm going to release the full episode, jam-packed full of probably too much 20 questions. But yes, so be on the lookout for that if you're wanting your 20 questions fixed. Be on the lookout for the compilation of it. So let's go ahead and wrap this up. So Andrew, if you want to start promoting some things and talking about things.
Yeah, definitely. So our community is a PixelPub gaming community. You can find us on pixelpubgaming.com. That's pixelpubgaming.com. We added a whole bunch of games on the front page. Those are all of our individual communities that we like to support. Some things like Arc Server or our Destiny, and the Bad Mama Jammas, of course, on WoW, some Monster Hunter, and of course the We Talk Nerd podcast, where you can listen to it on the front page if you'd like. And it gives you the different outlets like Pocket Casts, iTunes, SoundCloud, and YouTube. We're all on there. So on all of those platforms, you can, if you'd like, leave a comment or hit like or subscribe or leave 5-star reviews. We like to hear from you. And then, of course, if you want to make your way to the Discord, we're there in the We Talk Nerd podcast channel. You can see it like right below Andrew right here. That's live. That chat is live. You can be in that chat if you'd like. And of course, we read it, we review it, and we can add some of your ideas and chats from there into this podcast. We'd like to hear from you.
Yep, sure would. Rob, anything else to add to that?
Nope, nothing from me.
All right. Well, as always, I'm ABOP, AEBOP. And like Andrew said, make sure to do all those stuff, like, subscribe, share, tell people about us, give us feedback, talk to us on the Discord channel, and all that good stuff. I want to say that, like I said last week, I was going to stream some Borderlands. It didn't turn out that good. It's a really choppy video, so I'm going to try to figure out what's going wrong, and then we should be getting in that and have a full franchise playthrough of Borderlands. And maybe when Stardew Valley comes out, I might do a stream of that, of us playing Stardew Valley together. That'd be interesting to see.
I'll be looking forward to it.
But I guess I think Andrew said just about everything.
Nice.
So,
I'm improving.
He got it. He didn't screw it up.
I didn't screw it up this time.
Screw it up.
Maybe with the stream and everything, but not.
When we talk about the WoW Guild, there we go. If you play WoW, make sure to join us in over the Badman Majamas on Sargeras and Bleeding Hollow for the Horde. If you're in the WoW right now, like I am, and a lot of other people are kind of getting back into it. It's not too popular, but not doing too bad either. But I think that's going to be it. So we'll see you guys later.
Bye.
Bye.